Satnam. Okay, so that's today's mantra. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satanam. Today we will be focusing on Kundalini awakenings, what they are, what they feel like. Books, I'll give a couple book recommendations on that topic, on yogis who've written about Kundalini awakenings, people who've done research on Kundalini awakenings. Usually when you start a spiritual process, whether it's yogic or otherwise, there is a spiritualizing energy that is awoken within you that starts to manifest and make itself known. And that's what we'll be talking about today. If you're not on my email list and you'd like to get on it, you can either jump on my website, karalooney.com, or email me at karalooneyyoga@gmail.com. A little bit of interesting and exciting news is that we've just finished our last 40-day meditation journey, focusing on removing subconscious fear. And starting Thursday, July 2nd, we'll be starting our new 40-day meditation journey. So registration is open. If you go onto my website, karalooney.com, you can click to the 40-day meditation registration page, where you can learn more about what it is that we'll be doing for the next 40 days. We'll be chanting a mantra called Apsahai Hoa. And this mantra helps us remove obstacles. So whenever we make forward progress in our lives, or the intention toward forward progress, whether it be in the material realm, like financial or buying a house or something like that, or in the personal, emotional or spiritual plane when we're trying to make progress, equal and opposite energy usually makes its way in our path in the form of some type of obstacle. And we can use this 40-day journey in order to identify some of the obstacles on our path and find ways to consciously evolve beyond it, to see beyond it, to call in prosperity, to break through it. And it's a really wonderful journey. We have 2 classes a week virtually, and then we'll have a Facebook page where we can share in community, and I have a big playlist where you can pull lots of versions of the mantra from. So I'll tell you more about that at the end. Why don't I slide back and we'll get this show on the road. Welcome again to everybody. Feel free to pop your name into the chat box. Let me know who's here. And if you have any questions or comments along the way, please put them in and I will address them when I'm finished. Okay. Let's slide back, honey. Come on. Let's get in position and just shift our energy to a bit more of an inwardly placed focus. Palms face up on the knees. Eyes drawn up to third eye center. Shoulders down away from the ears. And chin to the chest. Maybe just rock the head from side to side, loosen up the neck. Maybe a couple circles in one direction and then the other, honey down. All right, let's get ready to tune in. Let's taking the hands to the heart center, rubbing the palms together, stimulating 72,000 energy channels. And we'll be learning about 3 specific energy channels today, which are associated with the awakening of Kundalini energy. But when we rub our palms together and we rub the soles of our feet together, we are stimulating all 72,000 of these endpoints of the energy channel. The energy channels begin at the navel center and they extend out and end into the hands and the soles of the feet. Let's bring the thumbs into the sternum, shoulders down away from the ears. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. We're getting ready to tune in with the Adi mantra. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the divine teacher within. We're calling on the high self, the spirit, that connection to the cosmos beyond that 3-dimensional material plane personality. We're also connecting to the line of ancient saints and sages who've been practicing this technology throughout the ages. Through vibration and beyond space and time, we connect to that energy. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Side out through the mouth. And inhale to begin. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo Om Guru Dev Namo Om Namo Guru Dev Namo Ar Gure Name Jugar Gure Name Sat Gure Name Sri Gurudev Name Ar Gure Name Jugar Gure Name Sat Gure Name Sri Gurudev Name Ar Gure Name Jugar Gure Name Sat Gure Name Sri Gurudev Name. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Suspend the breath, root lock, third eye focus. Contain and direct the energy. And exhale, release. All right, welcome everybody. Hello, happy Saturday. It's good to have you guys here. We have a great topic planned today. I'm very aware of my dog today because I didn't have a chance to take her for a WALK before I started here today, and normally I do. So I anticipate she might be a little in and out, and hopefully she doesn't, do any acts of passive aggression, like peeing on the carpet. But I did take her OUT earlier, but anyway, that's another thing altogether. So today's focus, we are going to be talking about Kundalini awakenings, which, if you practice Kundalini yoga, at least as far as when I started practicing Kundalini yoga, there wasn't actually a lot of discussion about Kundalini awakening. Bless you, Gesundheit. So we're participating in a process in Kundalini yoga where we are activating and facilitating a particular life force energy to make it a part of our lives. But there are experiences that come as a result of that I wasn't necessarily finding discussion about in the typical Kundalini yoga classes I was going to. We were talking generally about the evolution that was taking place, the change of values that were taking place. But some of the transformative shifts required a little bit of, challenge sometimes. And it caused me to turn toward books to learn more about the process of awakening. And I thought I would do a class on the process of awakening as one, I've experienced to be, and two, why do you keep coughing on camera? This is a new thing with her. And two, what other people have experienced, what I've researched generally, what happens as a result of Kundalini awakenings and some of the energetic transformations that take place. So, honey, just need you to move aside here, my little darling. Okay. So what is Kundalini energy? They call it Kundalini Shakti. It is in its transmuted form, our sexual energy, our creative energy, that creative impulse within us. Mythology expresses it as a serpent coiled 3 times, sleeping at the base of the spine. And when it's activated, it awakens and brings forth spiritual awakening. Symbolically, it is represented as the caduceus, right? That symbol that you see on hospitals, that symbol that you see on ambulances. It's the staff with 2 snakes winding up around the side of it, and then this winged bird up at the top. That caduceus is symbolically aligned with the Kundalini energy. And it's just interesting that the medical field has kind of taken that on as its symbol as well. And that caduceus is also a symbol of Hermes, that Greek messenger of the gods. And I love that symbol because I think Kundalini energy is a messenger of the gods, reminding us and putting us into communion and communication with that divine force energy that lives in us at the base of our spine. And from a yogic perspective, it is a dormant energy that sits at the base of the spine. And it is said, from my understanding and my research, that this energy is a result of the process of conception. When the sperm and the egg meet, there's this big, powerful amount of cosmic energy that brings the human body into existence, which allows the housing for the soul. And at the base of the spine, there is that remainder, dormant cosmic life force energy that sits at the base of the spine. And it is said that this energy awakens by way of 3 energy channels specifically. Now, I imagine that all 72 nadis or 72,000 nadis and energy channels are involved in the process. But it is said that these 3 energy channels are most specifically associated with the awakening of Kundalini energy. And that is the Ida energy channel in the left nostril that runs all the way down to the base of the spine. The Pingala is another energy channel that runs down to the base of the spine. The left channel is our feminine energy. The right channel is our masculine energy. And when the energies align and balance, when our masculine and feminine energy is balanced at the base of the spine, it then activates the Kundalini energy. And that Kundalini energy rises up the 3rd channel. We call it the central channel, the Shushmana. And that then awakens and balances out all the chakras and joins the Kundalini with the cosmic life force energy at the crown of the head we call Shakti energy. So it's totally escaping me right now. Shiva. So Shakti energy, the Kundalini Shakti, joins with the Shiva energy at the crown of the head. When this energy is awakened, it enables human consciousness to transcend its normal limits. Gopi Krishna says this awakening is the final phase of the evolutionary impulse in humankind. And how interesting is that? Thinking of all the thousands and thousands and maybe even million years of evolution of mankind. Not even knowing where that initially came from. Gabriel Cousens, another author who writes from experience on this topic, says this awakening activates the preconditions for self-realization or enlightenment, right? So in order to attain self-realization or enlightenment, one first would need to activate their Kundalini energy. Awakening the Kundalini energy does not guarantee enlightenment or directly result in enlightenment in most circumstances. There are the outlying circumstances like, the Buddha and Christ consciousness. Awakening of Kundalini is certainly a blessing and a unique transformative experience if you can access it within your lifetime. However, once it is awakened, it needs to work its way through our being, or our sheaths, they call them, to facilitate purification, healing, clearing and removal of mental disturbances, removal of karmic patterns, to strengthen the nervous system and raise the vibrational frequency. So we need to help facilitate this process once it is awakened. Otherwise, it can again go dormant. Many teachers say that you might awaken the Kundalini energy during your lifetime, but it is not fully expressing itself, but it may not fully express itself within your lifetime. I've heard a lot of teachers say this, that you may awaken your Kundalini energy and then have to work through 3 or 4 different lifetimes of karmic patterns to actually achieve enlightenment. So this is a marathon, not a sprint. But what a beautiful experience to even awaken the Kundalini energy, because they do say that it is a unique experience within one's lifetime to, in fact, do that. Once awakened, we can facilitate the process of its expression. Otherwise, it could go dormant. And you may ask, well, how can we facilitate the process of awakening and its expression once it is awakened? So the Kundalini energy is a force, and it is an intelligence all of its own. It is key to trust its energy and to surrender to the force of it. It knows better than we do. The fact that you are here and curious is evidence of its impulse expressing itself within you. And the interesting and sort of counterintuitive thing about the Kundalini energy is, to awaken it, it can't be a goal-oriented process. It is an allowing, it is a surrendering, and that's very counterintuitive to the way that we approach anything in our culture. It is the process of moving beyond the body identification and into soul and energy identification. I'm grateful for my naivety when I first started practicing Kundalini yoga. If I knew that there was a potential for an awakening process during that time, I would have been so goal-oriented to try and achieve that I would have totally sabotaged the process. And in 2013, I had a Kundalini awakening, and I honestly didn't know what was going on. I'll get into that a little bit later. But if I thank God for my naivety, because if I knew that awakening was a possibility, I would have desired to capture it, and thus probably crushed it. You know what I mean? Crushed that possibility. Along with surrender, it is said that to awaken and facilitate its process, obviously involving yourself in the 8 limbs of yoga. Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga is a roadmap through which to enable yourself open to receive the blessing of this energy. Another is the Buddha's Eightfold Path, right? To help us release our graspings and our resistances that put us up against the allowing of this energy. Nutrition, eating sattvic foods, vegetarian, vegan, organic, high mineral, low sugar, no processed foods. Incorporate fasting into your diet. Building the life force, right? Yoga asana, Kundalini kriyas, pranayama, energy, arts and sciences, and anything that'll strengthen the nervous system, right? Like cold showers and meditation, service and spiritual community. The act of service actually helps us face our attachments and expand our connections, open up the heart, open up our accessibility to the life force energy in other people. Spiritual community and indulging in spiritual texts strengthens your awareness around this energy. And lastly, silence and meditation. To enable surrender, we have to practice surrendering. So that comes in the form of meditation, that comes in the process of surrendering to a mantra, that comes in the process of observing and being in nature, surrendering to that natural force of the universe. A lot of people ask what happens during and after an awakening. So just like we have in our iris and our fingerprints, our individual expressions within all of us, the Kundalini Shakti awakens as a unique expression in all of us, right? There is not one Kundalini awakening that is the same as another. Although common among people, you have the sensation of rising, circulating, or shooting upwards of energy, heat, or a vibrational sensation from the base of the spine. A sensation of ecstasy or full brain and body orgasm, merging with the cosmos, this feeling of becoming one with everything or creation itself. This can last moments, this can last hours, this can last days. And again, like I said, less frequently, it can last an eternity. It could be enlightenment, obviously less frequently. But you never know. We're in the Aquarian age. Who knows what has yet to happen? Also, and I can speak from my perspective, a feeling or a sense of an upgrade to your consciousness, to your being, to your intelligence, an absorption in divine wisdom. After an awakening, people feel as if they are under a process of transformation, purification, and strengthening. Often a shedding feeling of sensation occurs. Changes can be both subtle, like little muscle spasms. I used to get a lot of muscle spasms around my hips and in my arms, and obvious expressions like involuntary movements, visions, awakening of extrasensory abilities. Some common reports of people are that, one, there's a feeling of a life crisis or a Saturn return. Once you've experienced an awakening, it's like you can't go back to life the way it was because there's been such a transformation in awareness. So things like work and values and relationships and all these things take on a huge transformation. And it can be a crisis for many people. And if that is the case for any of you, or you've experienced that, or are experiencing that, consider that as an invitation toward evolution, right? Any type of evolution requires that tension, friction, pressure. Something within us must die and be reborn. We get physical and emotional, energetic experiences and symptoms. Like I said, muscle spasms, heightened senses and capabilities. Sometimes people report anxiety, depression, and a desire to withdraw from life and people around us. And what happens oftentimes is, the modern medical industry will just throw medication at that, which is probably the worst thing you can do during a Kundalini awakening, because the toxins that are often present in a lot of these pharmaceuticals can deviate the process of awakening. And I suggest and hope that we move forward into a process where our society also starts throwing yoga teachers at people, and people start seeking out yoga teachers and Kundalini yoga teachers specifically in regard to this, especially ones who've experienced a Kundalini awakening. And that can really help them through that process. The nervous system is challenged to handle the new amount of energy, and the nervous system and the emotions can be pretty fragile. Think of it as upgrading the electric charge in a house, but not upgrading the wiring, right? And through the process of that transformation after the awakening, the nervous system has to strengthen to be able to sustain the new charge of force that's being pumped through it. A lot of people will seek dramatic lifestyle changes, right? They'll quit their job. That's what I did. I was working in a law firm, and I was like, I cannot show up here anymore. This place is killing me. And people will quit their job. They'll leave relationships. They will completely change their diet and go vegan all of a sudden. Lifestyles and values change. They go through a strong self-initiated shift, right? It's almost like you come to a point where you can't live a lie, or it doesn't feel like a truth anymore. And so you have to move in a completely deviated direction from the direction you were going through previously. You'll notice miracles, synchronicities, support from the universe, guides, angels, light workers kind of coming along your path. And if this sounds a little woo-woo to you, if you happen to experience a Kundalini awakening, you'll see what I mean. Increased sensitivity. I really felt this. Increased sensitivity to food, media, people, and places. Certain foods I could not eat anymore, especially ones that were more processed. That waned as the vibration came back to be more grounded for me. Like violence on television, misogyny in music, all sorts of things I just could not sustain anymore. It felt like an energetic violence to my system. It was almost like I was a child again on an energetic level. Your awareness, intuition, inner truth, and strong sense of purpose starts to really embody itself. And just to share a little bit more about my experience, around 2013-14, I started practicing Kundalini yoga. And I had already had a yoga practice of my own, just a flow practice. And I kind of fell into Kundalini yoga. At first, I kind of was a little weirded out because I didn't like the idea of singing in class. And ironically, now that happens to be my most favorite part. But on my second time to a Kundalini yoga class, I had an undeniable energetic experience that kept me going back. And from that point forward, I would slowly start to experience these awakenings and these shifts. And then one day I was in a flow class and I had an awakening. I was in Savasana and this full body energy shot up and I was kind of writhing on the floor and I was just in complete bliss. People around me must have thought I was insane. And for a couple days after that, I was in such an elevated state of consciousness. I was plowing through books, I was writing, I was just creating, and I was experiencing life at a whole different vibration. And then, you know, as it is living in the three-dimensional, I could not sustain that vibration and I came back down. But the experience had forever changed me. Knowing what I'm capable of, knowing what the greater truth is, it changed my whole value system and my whole focus in life. A couple questions come up. Why do some people say it's dangerous? Why do some people say Kundalini yoga and Kundalini energy is dangerous? Symbolically, the archetype of the snake, you know, and from a biblical perspective, is just seen as the devil and is seen demonic. It couldn't be further from the truth in this case. I've never felt more connected or closer to God and to truth as a result of my Kundalini awakening. It can be dangerous if you're using drugs to force or shortcut a Kundalini initiation, or if you are going through a forcing process of activating the energy. That can be dangerous because you may not have the assimilation of the nervous system, of the mental awareness, of the emotional awareness. You may have a problem assimilating the awakening. Or it may really do some damage to your nervous system if you shortcut the process. The energy may express itself improperly due to an ill-prepared vessel. That is possible. But if you're practicing yoga and you're practicing Kundalini yoga specifically, you're already priming your vessel for the awakening of this energy. If you have a poor diet, you regularly use drugs, you have a poor lifestyle, or related to the way that you live and interact with others, and you force the awakening of the Kundalini energy, you may run into some problems because the vessel is not prepared. It is said that the practice of Kundalini yoga can balance out misexpressed energies and imbalances as a result of Kundalini awakenings, and that is true. I've read a lot about people who have misalignments of the expression of Kundalini energy. Gopi Krishna being one of them. He didn't know what he had done. He didn't know what he had awakened. And when he reached out to yogic teachers and yogic masters, they explained to him how to redirect the energy properly, and they asked him to practice Kundalini yoga. Carl Jung was a big proponent of Kundalini yoga and the expression of the Kundalini energy, and he expressed the belief that some conditions, dissociative disorders like schizophrenia and others like that, are in fact possibly imbalances in the expression of awakened Kundalini. And if involving some of those patients into the practice of Kundalini yoga, it would be interesting to see how the energy can realign itself. I'd like to put two quotes out. One was by Carl Jung, who believed the awakening was the next great frontier in awakening of the human potential toward enlightenment. He said, when you succeed in awakening Kundalini so that it moves out of its mere potentiality, you start a world which is totally different, a world of eternity. And it leads me to remember a lot of sayings that you will hear in the spiritual world, kind of esoteric statements and biblical statements, where they talk about to be able to die while still living, or be reborn while still living. And this is what I believe is the initiation of the Kundalini energy. Gopi Krishna states, a new center presently dormant in the average man or woman, once activated, allows a more powerful stream of psychic energy, enabling consciousness to transcend its normal limits. This is the final phase of the evolutionary impulse in man. And I want to say this one last thing. I've not really ever expressed my position, my opinion, or anything about about some of the allegations about Yogi Bhajan with regard to Kundalini yoga. And a lot of people have stopped teaching and stopped practicing Kundalini yoga as a result of Yogi Bhajan's, the allegations against Yogi Bhajan. And I don't deny or argue any of those allegations against him at all. I have so much compassion and so much support for the people who expressed that they have been victimized as a result of Yogi Bhajan. But from my perspective, it in no way changes my value of the practice of Kundalini yoga. No man, regardless of his actions, how terrible his actions are, can take away the experience that I received as a result of practicing this ancient technology. And I feel it's really important to say that, because as much as I do not support the actions that were alleged against him, it does not change the fact that Kundalini yoga is a powerful technology towards self-transformation. And I'll leave it at that. Why don't we start with our warm-up? And all of the work that we're going to do today are exercises that are said to really help awaken and initiate and prepare the body for the awakening of Kundalini energy. So let's start with Sufi circles. Thank you for your patience. I know that was a longer Dharma talk than I normally do, but I hope you found it interesting. Hands are on the shins. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. Eyes drawn up to third eye center. Sadaranga sange abangam vibhude. Let's take 4 more in this direction. And inhale, hold center, switch direction. And while you're grounding the lowest energy center in Sufi circles, I'd like you to focus your awareness at the base of the spine. Feeling grounded, supported, secure, open. And letting the breath come in through both the left and the right nostril. Draw that energy all the way down to the base of the spine, clearing out the left and right energy channels in the nostrils, helping balance masculine and feminine energy. Let's take 2 more in this direction. And inhale, forward flex the spine. Exhale, round tuck the tail. We're opening up the central channel of the spine, the Shushmana, which is the channel I mentioned that is involved in the allowing of the raising of the energy. Inhale and exhale. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Chin is slight to the chest, long to the back of the neck, hands on the shoulders. Exhale, drop the shoulders away from the knees. Let's inhale, twist left. Exhale, twist right.
Chakra chakra varti, chakra chakra bhugate, Suyamba swakam sarvada sarva jugate, Dukhalam pranasi,
Keep those eyes drawn up to third eye center. Keep that breath strong, bringing out low body organs, purifying and raising the energy up to the heart. Take 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands cycle down and around. Let's do orc sweeps. Inhale and exhale, reaching from side to side. Stretching and reaching, expanding into the orc field. Long stretch, long reach. Expanding that energetic field around the body. Let's go for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach. And exhale, hinge, bow forward, stretch through the low back. All right, let's inhale, rise it up. So the first part that we're going to do today is a very key element in awakening the Kundalini energy and giving it space through which to express itself, which is balancing right and left nadis, Ida and Pingala. So I'm going to start with the opposite nostril breathing. My right hand is going to be up at my face. And close off my right nostril. Take a long, deep inhale through the nose. And as I inhale, I'm not just stopping here. I'm allowing my diaphragm to expand and allowing my belly to expand. So even though the breath stops at the bottom of the lungs, the energy can travel down to the base of the spine. Close off that left nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale. Let the energy travel to the base of the spine. That's by help of your imagination as well. And exhale left. Continue. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And continue. Try and make those breaths equal and even on each side to really balance out the masculine and feminine energy channel. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. Chin is gently tucked to the chest. Be very calm and soothing. Like I mentioned, this is an allowing process.
And be such, Nanak hosi be such, all the such, to God such, and be such, Nanak hosi be such, all kure name, to God kure name, Art as such, juga as such, and be such, non-egosi be such. Art as such, juga as such.
And when you're finished, take that right hand down. Both hands are in Dhyan Mudra, chin is toward the chest, eyes are drawn up to third eye center, and let's take some long deep breaths.
And be such, non-egosi be such.
Gently blink the eyes open. Okay, so to further balance the masculine and feminine energy, we're going to do an exercise which is called the merger of the sun and the moon. And my hands are going to be out to the side with my palms faced up to the sky. And as I inhale, I lift up my left hand and shoulder. And then I exhale, I drop it. Okay, so inhale, exhale, You're shrugging the shoulder and you're also lifting up through the arm. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. Here we go. Working on these energy channels here. And although you may not feel it, there is a subtle preference to the left and right nostril as you lift and lower the left and right shoulder. Shrugging the shoulder more than pressing the hand up to the sky. Stay inwardly focused. Eyes are drawn up to the third eye center. Do your best to stay focused on breath and not entertaining thoughts. Keep it like 30 more seconds. And inhale. Root lock third eye. Reach the arms up to the sky, pressing through the palms. Looking through the crown of the head. And exhale. Shake the arms out, shake the shoulders. Just sit for a moment. It's really beautiful to be aware of our resistance to the relaxation, to the surrender, to the stillness. That some of these exercises or kriya sets ask us to participate in. To the degree that we resist the stillness and find it agitating or irritating is to the degree to which we are preventing that energy from manifesting, that Kundalini energy from expressing itself. So it behooves us to get more comfortable with some of these more subtle expressions of Kriya, exercise, and pranayama. For those of you who are looking for an energy expression, your order's up. So this next exercise, I'm going to take my thumb and close down my sun and my ring finger, my sun and my Mercury finger. My Jupiter and Saturn fingers are expressed out to the sides. Okay, so my palms are facing each other, and I'm going to lift my elbows and just direct my fingers toward one another. They don't touch. Okay, and then they're going to come right back down, kind of elbows striking the ribs. And this is going to be a powerful breath of fire that we're going to do. So it's going to be a pumping of the diaphragm as we breathe through the nose. It's going to be a big belly breath as opposed to being in the chest. Okay, here we go. Feel yourself striking your ribs. Eyes are drawn to third eye center. And you can go as slow or as fast as you feel motivated to. Keep going. Move through any of the challenge, any of the resistance, any of the discomfort. You may feel a little cramping in the ribs. This might be some energy clearing. So keep moving, getting into the second, third, and fourth chakra here. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Relax shoulders. Let's go for a minute longer. See if you can make the energy bigger. Make it a little bit more expressed. Last 30 seconds. Ten more seconds. Stay with me. And inhale. Suspend the breath, root lock, third eye. Really engage that root lock, direct those eyes up, direct the flow of energy up. And exhale. Palms face up. Relax. Take some clearing breaths. Maybe engage the fingers into Gyan Mudra to create an energetic circuit in the body toward expansion, connecting to high wisdom. Gently blink the eyes open. Well done. All right, the last last Kriya set we're going to do is called Gyan Chakra Kriya Meditation. And this will be before we do our weekly mantra. This meditation is fantastic for healing. It helps the heart, it helps the joints, it lowers stored anger or decreases stored anger. It increases intuition. 120 days steady practice of this exercise will help you become realized. Its primary effect is that it brightens your halo. It builds the auric field, it activates the arc line, which taps into knowledge from the Akash. So this, the reason I pick this is because I believe it is necessary to open up some of these higher channels of awareness when we're working with activating the Kundalini energy. If your understanding of reality is focused in the material world, in the three-dimensional, the Kundalini awakening will really shake up your apple cart. And that's why, you know, some psychedelic experiences for certain people who aren't prepared in the level of consciousness kind of have psychotic breakdowns or psychological breakdowns, because there's a whole other realm that you become intimately connected to. So practicing meditations that connect you to the etheric realms and the Akashic realms is really helpful for gaining that expanded awareness. So the next exercise we're going to do involves Gyan Mudra and joining index finger and thumb. The arms are going to be up over the head. And I'm going to be doing alternating circles. So kind of like I have two lassos in my arms that I'm raising over my head. So as one circle comes in toward my ear, the other circle goes away. Okay, so they're independently operating in these circle vortexes overhead. Okay, Gyan Mudra. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. And let's... Gyan Mudra. Let's start with the left arm closest to the ear, right arm furthest from the ear, and start going. Eyes are drawn up. Here we go.
Harinam Satanam Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari Harinam Satanam Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam.
Let this be a moving meditation.
Satanam Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari Harinam Satanam Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari Harinam Satanam Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari.
And if your circles, don't be too neurotic about the organization of your circles. Allow yourself more to surrender into the energy that's being created in the arc line field and in the auric field around the head.
Harinam Satanam Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari 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 Harinam Satanam Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari.
Keep those eyes drawn up. Keep your focus on the breath.
Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari Harinam Satanam 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 Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari.
Keep going.
Harinam
Stay connected. Stay expansive.
Satanam Hari Harinam Satanam Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari Harinam Satanam Harinam Hari Harinam Satanam Satanam Hari Harinam Satanam Harinamari Harinam Satanam Satanamari Harinam Satanam Harinamari Harinam Satanam Satanamari Harinam Satanam Harinamari Harinam Satanam.
Surrender beyond the struggle. If you're feeling the struggle in your shoulders, release the storyline, release the drama, and just visualize it as energy that you can release through the fingertips. 30 more seconds.
Harinam Satanam Harinamari Harinam Satanam Satanamari 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 Harinam
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Press the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Tense up the muscles around the spine. Root lock, third eye focus. Shoulders away from the ears. Keep the posture. Exhale. Again, I want you to engage, feel tension, all the way rising up the spine. Eyes drawn up, root lock, third eye focus. Suspend the breath. And exhale. Hands down on the side.
Harinam Satanam Harinamari Harinam Satanam Satanamari 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 Harinam Satanam Harinamari Harinam Satanam Satanamari.
Gently blink the eyes open.
Harinam Satanam Harinamari.
All right, I'd like to finish this off before we sing our weekly mantra. I'd like to finish this off with Sakriya, another powerful way through which to raise the energy. And even if you do just Sakriya for 3 minutes a day for 40 days or however long or for eternity, just 3 minutes of Sakriya can make a huge energetic impact on your spiritual evolution. So let me find, there we go. All right. Now when we chant Sat, I want you to pull up your bathroom muscles. When we chant Nam, I want you to release the bathroom muscles and relax. So this engaging, contracting, and releasing acts as one, a massage for the internal organs, and two, as sort of a provocation of energy upward through the spine. I want you to focus your eyes at the third eye center, and I'd like you to raise your arms up over your head. Interlace the last 3 fingers. Jupiter finger extends to the sky. Women left thumb crosses over right, men right over left. Chanting Satnam, truth is my identity. Here we go. Sat, Nam, 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 Sat. Nam Sat, 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 Nam Sat. Visualize that energy rising. Every time you pulse up, encouraging the energy upward, eyes are drawn up, continue. Sat, Nam, 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 Sat, Nam. 30 more seconds. Stay with me. Nam, Sat, 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 Nam. 5, 4, 3. Inhale. Suspend the breath, root lock, third eye focus. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Hands come down around the side body. Sit for a moment. Just relax. Long neck, chin is toward the chest. Shoulders down away from the ears. Blinking the eyes open. Well done. Let's come into a cross-leg position and feel free to shake the legs out if you'd like a little reset in the thighs and the knees and the hips. And we're going to come into our final mantra of the week, which is, I put it in the text field, Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satanam. The translation is true sustainer, indescribable wisdom, creative sustenance, true identity. Such could also probably be said of the Kundalini energy itself, right? And maybe that's what we are describing. It's interesting how when you hear the energy of God or the creative energy described in yogic texts, it's also the same aspects of that God force within us, that evolutionary energetic force within us, which leads one to believe that that which is of the creative space is also living within us and expressing itself through us, as long as we facilitate and allow that process to be, right? Relax and allow it to work itself. Just like a flower lets itself grow. So let's get into Gyan Mudra. This mantra is chanted to create inner peace so one can protect outer peace, happiness, and good fortune. Narayan is the aspect of infinity that relates to the water element, so that which flows beyond obstacles, right? This mantra helps you go with the flow and takes you beyond the world to the experience of infinity. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satnam. Gyan Mudra. Okay, a little coffee stuff. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satnam. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satnam. Sat Hari Narayan Satanam. Satnarayan Waheguru. 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 Hari Narayan Satanam. Take a deep inhale. Satnarayan Waheguru. Hari Narayan. Suspend the breath. Satnarayan Waheguru. And exhale. Again, inhale through the nose. And exhale. Gently come laying down onto your back. Feet and thighs turn out naturally. Palms face up next to the hips. Watch out, honey. here, sweetheart. Sorry, my dog's hacking it up on the video. She sniffs on this fur blanket, and it gets in her throat. All right. Relax. Feet and thighs turn out naturally. Tailbone turns down. Palms face up next to the hips, shoulders down and away. Jaw softens. Tongue relaxes in the mouth. Ears fall back. And eyes sink back. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Hi, Peanut. And rock onto one side into fetal position. Take a deep breath while you're down there. And sigh it out. And use the top hand to push yourself up seated, cross-leg position. Let's bring the hands to the heart center. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the light within you guide your way on. Let's take a deep breath and close out with 3 long vibrational expressions of the sound Satnam, declaring truth is our identity. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Satnam. 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 Take a deep breath in through the nose. Suspend the breath. Bring folded hands to third eye center, blessing that you'll be guided by intuition and have the wisdom and courage to follow it. Exhale, bowing forward. Satnam. Namaste. Great job, guys. I hope you liked the topic. And if anyone has any questions about Kundalini awakenings, any questions about the energy, any questions about some of the challenges and shifts that take place as a result of awakening, please always feel free to email me or connect with me, caroluniyoga@gmail.com. And if anyone has any questions about my comment on about Yogi Bhajan and all that stuff, please also feel free to email me or comment. I'm grateful for him having brought this practice to the United States. If it weren't for him, then that would not have been accessible to me, or maybe it would. Maybe someone else would have brought it. Grateful for that, but with regard to all that's going on, I have to say that despite all of it, of which I do not argue or dispute any of the allegations, despite all of it, this energy and this practice is undeniable. So feel free to comment or ask any questions of me on that. I have some book recommendations. Sorry, honey. Book recommendations for the process of awakening. Oh, my dear. Honey. This coughing will stop as soon as I'm done doing this. Gopi Krishna, Kundalini, the evolutionary energy in man. Great book. Lots to learn about the negative expression sometimes if you force the energy. Kundalini rising. These are experiences of other people in their awakenings. So all the different experiences that a group of people have had, how it's been collected, really great stories in here of individual experiences. This has been such a wonderful book and Bible to me. And by the way, this book was written by Gurmukh Karkhalsa, amazing teacher. Andrew Newberg, Savanda Radha, you got a couple here, John Selby. This book, Spiritual Nutrition by Gabriel Cousens, it is like the Bible for awakening Kundalini energy and allowing it to manifest through you, understanding how it's working through you, understanding some of the things that can happen, understanding how to facilitate it, and also understanding how to downplay it if you feel like too much intensity, how to ground yourself a little bit more. So it's a great book. And then if you want to read more about Carl Jung, and his impression of Kundalini yoga and Kundalini energy in general, this was notes from a seminar he gave back in 1932 on Kundalini energy and Kundalini yoga itself. So really cool stuff. I'm glad to, if you want to email me, I'm glad to send you pictures of those books and the authors' names. Again, if you're interested in joining me on my 40-day meditation journey, it starts Thursday, July 2nd. Registration is open on my website, caroluni.com, under the 40-day meditation page. Our last group, we had so much fun. It was, we have our independent daily meditation for either 5, 10, or 20 minutes. And then we meet twice a week to practice Kundalini yoga, to meditate together, to share in community. It's a great way to further develop your meditation practice because it's a longer span of time and because you have that sharing in community that helps really kind of hold you accountable and keep you invested and interested and excited. We'll also have a private Facebook page for people to share experiences on this journey. And this will be a 40-day meditation mantra journey to clear obstacles in our path. You can find me on caroluni.com. You can register on caroluni.com. You can also email me at caroluniyoga@gmail.com. You'll find me at YogaWorks, live streaming Mondays and Wednesdays for Kundalini, and Sundays at 8:45 for level 1-2 flow class. Please let me know if you have any questions. You're welcome, Jean. Great to see you guys. And we'll see you next Saturday for live stream class. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I always do, I guess. I feel like there's so many things that I have to say. Maybe I put a note here for myself. Nope, seems about it. If you're interested in any of the music, I got it through Yogi Tunes, which is a licensing program for yoga music. You can find it on yogitunes.com. Felicia McDonald says, aligned Dharma Talk. Was just having this conversation with a peer of mine. Thank you, Kara. You're welcome. See, synchronicities. Much love and light to you and Honey. Thank you. We got to get Honey some fresh air and get her outside. Oh, I said the magic word. Do you want to go outside? All right, guys. Thanks so much, and we will see you next time. Take care. Sat Nam. Bye. Toodaloo.